I'm coming. So, I don't know what it is. The Facebook video. The Instagram video has a lot of light. The Facebook video does not have the same light that the IG video has. So, it's going to wait, give people a couple of minutes to get on. I'm trying with this light for the Instagram video. I think we're going to have to go with that. Hey, it's Kwase. So, hey, Lori. Lord, it's February 20th, Lori. That's 20 days negligent. But that's another video. I want to talk about love. I tried to talk about love yesterday, but the way my life was set up, work one out. So, I think I've been trying to talk about love for a few days. Let's see. Someone else is going to join us. Hey, Tabitha. Yes, why wouldn't we be talking about love with just 2 days, 3 days, well, 2 days before the We Still Do event. Love's been on my mind. Love is always on my mind. So, but I wanted to talk about it. I'm going to give it one more minute, and then I'm going to go. And I'm excited to talk about love. I love love. Actually, I'm excited that I know what love is now. Isn't that exciting? All right. So here we go. First of all, for those of you who don't know me, apparently I'm not introducing myself, and when the videos are shared, people don't get to know who I am. So I'm Sharonda Ford, licensed professional counselor associate in Charlotte. I am a psychotherapist with a private practice, and I work with a vast variety of individuals, work with everything from teens to seniors, and well, actually preteens and before teens to seniors. And I won't necessarily say that I specialize in anything as of yet, but I see a lot of couples. I don't think that was the direction I expected to be in. However, thank God for word of mouth, and my referral base is really great. And so I get a lot of marriage counseling referrals, and then a lot of trauma, crisis, and grief referrals for women, and then anger, self-esteem for young people, and dealing with suicide ideation and things like that. And so I think it's important to really define love, and I will try not to be longer than 10 minutes. So if you're just joining, you can start this video at the 4-minute mark because we kind of waited. But a few years ago, I had my nieces down for the summer, and one of them was really just turning to the teenage years, and started talking about love. And so we got into the what is it. And if all of you are of the age or know that you have loved or want love, desire love, need love, miss love, and had possibly experienced a misguided perspective of what love is. So I wanted to explain to them what love is, and I had them to memorize 1 Corinthians 13 starting at verse 4 through 8. And so I really thought it was for them. I had them start going through it and getting them to learn it. And I was giving the example to them that when you say you love someone, or when you say that someone loves you, this is the guideline for what love is. And so I was really excited for them to be learning it. And then one day, and I explained to them that this isn't just about relationships with couples, but this is about love being about pure relationships, love with family, love with everybody. Hey, Karen, how are you? Love with everyone. And so I wanted to make sure that they were clear on how to understand when people love them, and when they love someone, and how they should love someone. And at some point, God was like, hey, Do you even know that? So that's where this kind of all evolved from. This is 3 years of me really embracing the scripture and really learning how to love, starting with loving myself, which I'm not ashamed to say took a lifetime to really do, but I do love myself. And so when I kind of call these things out, I think that it is a reminder to me, so I want to share it with you. So when I look at love, I am bringing it straight from 1 Corinthians 13 and 4, and I will break it down and just talk about what that is for me. And so when I think about my marriage, when I think about my mom, when I think about my family, when I think about my clients, when I think about having a spirit of judgment, when I think about pure relationships, when I think about whether people do me wrong, when I think about the cashier or the person that cuts me off, I think about God's command for us to love everyone, that we should love. And so when I think about how I love, I realize that at times in my life, I loved with expectation, and I loved expecting reciprocity, or I loved expecting people to love me the way I loved them. And then I had boundaries to how I loved and to who I loved. According to this, I feel confident in knowing that this is my recipe for love that I'm taking right from the word, and that this is how I strive to love everyone daily. And so my encouragement to you, the reason I wanted to bring this out is because I think that a lot of what we deal with, the depression, the grief, the despair, the anxiety, the disappointment, the jealousy, the envy, the marital discord, relationship discord, comes from a lack of love. And so often we hear that well, I was in love, or I think I love them, or I don't even know if I love them anymore, or I fell out of love. And so the question is that even possible? Is it possible to fall out of love if love is the basis of how we should live? Right? So that's kind of where I'm coming from. So love is patient, kind, does not envy, does not boast, is not arrogant, is not rude, does not insist on its own way, is not irritable, is not resentful, does not rejoice in wrongdoing. And then I said, but, or however, love does rejoice with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And finally, love never ends. And so when I look at that passage and I look at how I love and who I love and why I love and the definition of love, I think to myself often when I'm feeling snappy, or when I kind of lash out. That's kind of when I'm not using my essential oils. When I'm not slathered and my stress away, sometimes I forget some of this love stuff and kind of like snap. But I find myself being impatient. When you love someone, that means that you wait on them. That means that you sometimes need to wait for them to meet you where you are, to be where you think they should be, and to realize that they may never arrive there, that they may very well just be where they are, and you have to respect that place and love them anyway. Love is kind. That means that you're not saying harmful things. You're not doing things out of spite. You're not doing things vindictively. It's common that we do that, but the importance is to remember that love is patient and it is kind. And then love does not envy, and it does not boast. It's not arrogant. And I find that oftentimes in relationships, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing spouses being jealous of one another, not building up one another, not appreciating where the other spouse is. We're seeing them being puffed up like I'm better than you, or I've arrived here, or even in relationships looking for someone. Oftentimes we hear, they got to bring this to the table, or they got to bring that to the table, or they got to do more for me than I can do for myself. But that's a barometer, right, that society has set and brainwashed people to believe that you want somebody that has to have more than you, or I can do better. All of these cliches and things kind of diminish what love really is. It's not rude. How often are you talking to someone and you love someone, but you snap back, or you just treat them in a way that is not loving, is not kind, is not patient, and you are rude to them. You're snapping at them, you're screaming at them, you're yelling in front of your children, in front of other people, talking about them, talking down to them. That is not love. It doesn't insist on its own way. We're in relationships. We have friendship. Well, if they're not going to do it like this, then we're not going to do it. If you're in groups or ministries or anything, well, we've always done it this way. And well, I'm not going to change. Love allows you to change because it doesn't insist on its own way. It's flexible. Love is flexible in that it doesn't have to go your way. It's not irritable or resentful. That means that you're not always snapping. It goes back to the same thing. I think some of this is repetitious, but some of it is just kind of, I believe that there's a point being made here about love and about what we should not be doing in the name of love. It's not resentful. You did this to me and I'm resenting. I struggle with that. I have always struggled with resenting people for things that they've done. But when you add forgiveness in with the love, it may kind of help that resentment dissolve. And then it doesn't rejoice at wrongdoing. Like, we all like, yeah, well, that's what they get. That's not love. So you want to be mindful of how you respond to people. This is what love does do. Love rejoices in the truth, honesty, and being forthright, and being able to speak the truth in love, and being able to say, hey, you hurt me, or this is how I'm feeling, and being able to say it and receive whatever the response is. People are, I could do it, but depending on how they respond to me, I've been that person. Well, I'll say that I'll apply, but if they don't, it is not it is not dependent upon or contingent upon the response that you get. Love is your action, is fluid, is transient, and it should not be your love should not be dictated or diminished or removed or repressed based on someone else's response to you. But it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And so that is where we are in marriages. Like, I am over here with, and I have always been, people who fall out of love, where we grew apart. You grow up. We do all the time. In relationships, you've got to fight. You've got to make up your mind in a marriage that you will fight. It's not always going to be what you want. It's not going to always be your way. There may be arrogance. There may be lovelessness. There may be all of those things. But that doesn't mean that you have the right to just walk away. There is no escape route plan. Stop entering into marriage, into covenant agreement with people with an escape route plan. Save that escape route for your fire drill. How many people got a fire drill for their family? You got an escape route for your marriage. Escape route for your friendships. You will walk out on your family and people are there, but you don't. Okay? All right, I'm going to let that go. So I'm saying to you, it is critical to love beyond borders. It is critical to remember that you've got to be patient. You've got to be kind. You've got to not envy. You should not boast. You shouldn't be arrogant. You shouldn't be rude. You shouldn't insist on having things go your way. You shouldn't always be irritable or resentful, but you should delight in the truth. You should bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, and endure all things for the sake of love. Recognize what love is. Stop saying we've fallen out of love and realize that you're growing together. Maybe you're not growing in the same pace, at the same, maybe you want different things, but you didn't get to where you are individually. Somehow collectively you've gotten to that place. So the same way that you've kind of gone from here to here, it's a seesaw. You're not always growing at the same time. You're not always loving at the same level at the same time. Oh, well, this is just a good season for us. Every season should be a good season for you, because you should be working on striving for excellence, right? Stop looking for the perfect mate or the perfect marriage or the perfect couple, the perfect everything. Perfection does not exist. It existed in Christ. Strive for excellence in your marriage, excellence in your work, excellence in the things that you're doing, and recognize that excellence is truly you giving it all you got. And when you strive for excellence, if you succeed or if you fail, you've done your best, and that is good enough. Love yourself first so that you can love others. Stop being hard on yourself. Stop allowing lovelessness to debilitate you and paralyze you in grief and fear and depression and anxiety and resentment and doubt and hopelessness and helplessness, and start loving yourself enough to believe that you can do all things, and that no matter what your past was, it doesn't dictate what your future will be. I often say, if yesterday dictates your tomorrow, then today is lost. It doesn't matter whether you were a rapist or been raped. It doesn't matter whether you were a liar or have been lied on. It doesn't matter whether you've been an abuser or been abused. It does not matter where you've been. God redeems and restores and delivers and gives hope and gives life to dead situations. If he did it for me, he can do it for you. Learn how to love. Try it. I dare you. There is no failure in love. If you got questions, you want to talk about love, if your marriage is on the rocks, if you feel like giving up, reach out. Ask for help. If you want to inbox me, call me, text me, reach out. I am committed for the cause of Christ to be able to encourage people who feel like they will not make it. I am so grateful for this journey that I'm on. I'm grateful for my mistakes. I'm grateful for how I've been wronged, because it has taught me through trials how to love and how to move forward and how to not be debilitated or paralyzed by my past. So have a blessed and amazing day. I'm here for you. Again, Sharonda Ford, licensed professional counseling associate. If you know anyone in the Charlotte area looking for a therapist, you can refer them, and I can refer them if I'm not able to help them. I don't have the answer for everyone. I may not have the answer for anyone, but I certainly am willing to go on a journey with you so that you can find the answers you need to be the successful person you desire to be. Be blessed, y'all.